Hello everybody, today I want to share 5 inspiring minimalism challenges you can do right now, later, whenever you feel like it. But I wanted to share these with you because I think sometimes it's very refreshing to try something, to get out of your comfort zone, to get to know yourself and your relationship with minimalism better with a challenge. And let's get started. So the first minimalism challenge I want to talk about is the mince game. It was invented by the minimalists and it goes like that. You take a month and on the first of the month you declutter one thing. On the second of the month you declutter 2 things. On the third day, 3, and so on. And in the end, after 1 month, you have decluttered more than 500 things. Now I have to say I've never actually done this challenge myself, just because I think the first time I heard about this challenge, I already had not enough things to do that. But this challenge is really good for people that have a lot of things, that are still in the beginning phases, or that have not decluttered for a long time. And I think it could maybe even be a good idea for me to start that challenge. And I mean, you win the challenge or you succeed if you make it to day 30 or day 31. I'm sure I couldn't do it that long, and I think that's also not the idea of the challenge. It's not the idea that you declutter things that you need later, but it's just a reminder and something that gets the ball rolling and that makes it easier to actually part from more things. So I highly recommend doing the mince game if you haven't done it already, or if you need another decluttering push, and I think it can be very inspiring and help your minimalism journey. And then I want to talk about the second thing, which is a packing party. I don't know who invented that, but I've seen a lot of people do that, and I think that's also something that could happen even if you don't do it as a challenge. It just means you pack away everything and just take out what you actually need or want in a moment. And you can do that with your whole household. You can also do it just with your wardrobe. And I think it's a really good way to actually see what you want. So you pack everything away in boxes, in a closet, somewhere where you can't see it, somewhere where it's clear if you go and take something or if it's just there. So you have nothing in your house. And then you just go and take everything you actually need. And you can do that for a week or for a month or for however long you want. And let's be real, a lot of us have moved in the past and have some boxes in their basements that have not been opened since the move. That is also a move is kind of a packing party. Everything you unpack immediately because you need it is certainly something you want to keep. But the things that are still in these boxes are definitely things you don't really need. Now I know, especially for maybe sentimental items and things you don't actually need but just have because you want to have them, it can happen that you don't actually go and reach for them, go and unpack them. But I highly suggest you do that, because if these items mean so much to you, it should be important to you to have them somewhere where you can see them, where you can touch them, where you can look at them and enjoy them. And it doesn't really help anybody if they're stored away in the basement. So I highly recommend doing a packing party. It also works with your wardrobe if you just put all the hangers the wrong way around, and whenever you actually wear something, you put the hanger in the correct way. And in the end of a certain period, you can really see what you have been wearing. Because if all of the hangers are turned the right way around, that means you have worn everything at least once. If you have some hangers that are the wrong way around, even after half a year or something like that, maybe that's a good sign you don't actually need these things. So a packing party can be done in different ways, but I highly recommend this method because it really helps you see what the things are that you use and like in your apartment. So if you're trying one of the things, please let me know in the comments, or please let me know what kind of experiences you've already had with minimalism challenges, and if you have more minimalism challenges, leave them down below as well. And now let's move on to the third minimalism challenge. And the third challenge is a capsule wardrobe. Now I say capsule wardrobe just because I think our clothes are a part that a lot of people are not satisfied with, a lot of people stress and spend a lot of money on, and so I think your wardrobe is a good place to start. You of course can do a capsule with makeup, with other things in your house, but maybe clothes is a good place to start. Now you can do the project 333, which is a capsule wardrobe system. You can do like 10 by 10, which means having 10 pieces for 10 days. Or you can do whatever kind of capsule wardrobe you want. The idea here is just that you actually strictly limit the amount of pieces you can use and see how many you actually need. Now, of course, you don't have to restrict it to an amount where it gets stressful and is not enjoyable at all. But usually I think, or I have experienced for myself, that it makes a huge difference, and it's so beneficial to me if I don't have too many pieces of clothing. Because if I have just what I need, I always have something to wear, but I never have to spend more time than necessary thinking about my outfits. I just grab the first thing I see in the morning, and that is what works for me. I have all of my clothes in one drawer, and I'll link you a video up here where I show you everything I own, which is kind of an extreme minimalist wardrobe. But let me know how your wardrobe works, and I think capsule wardrobes can really help a lot when it comes to saving time, saving money, and moving forward with a minimalist lifestyle. So the next challenge I want to talk about is a no buy. Now you can do a no buy month, no buy week, no buy year even. It more so comes from the frugal scene on the internet or everywhere, but I think it's really good for minimalism because it really monitors your consumption. And of course, no buy means you can still buy groceries, you can still buy new underwear if all of your underwear has holes, but it just means you don't just shop away and buy everything you think would be great to add or you just feel like. And I've also never really done a no buy something, but I do pay close attention to what I buy and why I want to buy it. And I usually also wait for a period of time. Like if I have a thought, if I have an idea what I want to buy, I put that aside and buy it 1 month later. And if I forget until then it wasn't that important. But if I really still remember, if I'm still looking for the right choice and wanting to add that item to my belongings, then I go forward with it and buy it. So I think a no-buy challenge is a really great way to save a lot of money and really pay attention to what you want to bring into your life. Because I know a lot of people struggle with shopping and struggle with just not being able to stop buying things that they regret later or that they realize were not worth the money. And so I think making a no-buy challenge can really help with that. And a lot of people that do no-buy challenges realize how little they actually need and how little buying new things actually helps with their situation. Because I totally know that sometimes you're bored, sometimes you just don't feel good and you think buying a new thing would change that. Buying a new thing would make you happy. But usually that's not the case. And so making a no-buy adds these rules to your life, which makes it easier to not do that and to actually experience that, how it feels to not buy something, even if you want to. And then maybe you can just change your relationship with buying stuff, with shopping, with consuming things in general. So I highly recommend doing that. And again, leave your experiences if you have done a no-buy challenge before. The fifth thing is monitor what you declutter. Now that is a bit more advanced maybe, but for me, for example, I realized by monitor what I declutter, I actually realize what is coming into my home. Because usually I declutter stuff that I have not bought, that has somehow ended up in my apartment. Also, we have a lot of trash that I'd like to avoid. And so by just seeing what I actually want to get rid of, I can take that and apply it to the things that I bring into my home. If I realize that I'm always decluttering the same thing, then I should maybe pay attention to how that thing actually comes into my house. And that actually happens for some categories of things. For example, my son's shoes. We are decluttering a lot of his shoes, and that is because they all fall apart. And I think that is because they are not good quality. So maybe in the future, instead of buying them secondhand and buying them wherever, I really want to pay attention to buying quality shoes so that they last at least as long as they fit him, so that in the end, of course, maybe I can I do like declutter them and throw them away, or maybe I can give them to somebody else if they're still in a good condition. Also, one thing that I realize we declutter a lot is just like clothes that really don't fit, experiments that I have tried, like sewing and changing new clothes that don't work. So maybe I should pay closer attention to how I'm altering things if I'm not completely sure it will turn out in a good way. Maybe I shouldn't be that hard on myself, maybe. But I think monitor what you declutter, or maybe also monitor your trash, monitor your spendings, can sometimes help realizing where the problem is with bringing things into your home. But for all of these challenges, I want to say one thing. A challenge can be great because it can be inspiring, it can be challenging, as the name suggests, and it can help you like really figure out things that in your everyday life would be hard to actually realize. But on the other hand, I think it is really important that you don't force yourself into challenges and into like situations where it isn't like flowing, where you have to pay so much attention to your decisions and make lists and write down what you want to have, what you declutter, what you spend your money for, that it's actually not adding value to your life. So always be sure that these challenges are fun and rewarding and actually getting you somewhere, and not just do challenges and rules and restrict yourself because you think it would add some value, or actually if you realize it doesn't, then don't do it. That's, for example, a reason I don't meal plan, because I don't like eating the meals that I have planned for sometimes, because sometimes I just feel like cooking something else. So I highly believe in not restricting myself too much, to still be able to spontaneously decide something else, to spontaneously sometimes also buy something if I really think, wow, like that is what I have been needing. But I think it's always a good idea to reflect on what you want and need and buy and do, to just be sure that you're not like out of an instinct doing things that are harmful to your lifestyle in the long run. Let me know how you like this video and what challenges you have done before, or if you're not at all interested in doing minimalist challenges, because that's absolutely okay as well. I hope you have a great time, and it would be nice to see you next time. If you want to see more videos, I'll link you a video and a playlist right here, and bye bye!